Okay, good morning and welcome to this Biononopolis virtual event in which we will present how to develop, test or scale up bionanomaterials for free in the Biononopolis Pilot Lines network. My name is Natalia Ortuño. I'm the project manager of this project here at ITENE, and today I will act as the moderator of this session. Before starting the online session, I would like to share some rules for the smooth running of the workshop. The session will have a total duration of 1 hour and a half and will end at 12:30 p.m. During the online session, you can send your question via the chat at the top right-hand side of your screen, and at the end of the session, our expert will answer this question in a Q&A session. Okay, so now let's start with the program. In first place, the coordinator of the project, Carmen Sanchez, will explain what the Biononopolis testbed consists of and what can be offered to the stakeholder. In second place, my colleague Hector Torres from ITENE will give more details about the different pilot plans involved in the project. In third place, Elena Torres from ITEX will give a tour along the Biononopolis facilities and will explain some examples of the user case that will be developed in the project to validate the pilot plans. Next, Raquel Moreno from Axia will explain the different services that will be offered in the Biononopolis testbed and will explain also how to access them. And finally, as I've said before, there will be a question and answer session where all of your doubts will be solved. To start the day, I give way to Carmen Sanchez, which apart from being the Biononopolis coordinator, it's also the technical director of ITENE. She holds a PhD in agricultural engineering, and with a strong technical background, she has developed her professional career towards the management of research teams and projects. She has more than 25 years of experience in the management of R&D and I projects in packaging and mobility, as well as in the design and implementation of innovation management strategies and models for transferring research results to the business environment. So, please.
Well, good morning, everybody. Well, today I think that we are quite happy at Biononopolis team. Biononopolis is an European project, and its main objective is just to put together all the capabilities, technical capabilities and not so technical capabilities of different partners in the European Union. We are actually 27 partners, 20 of them are core partners that are the ones that have these capabilities. And the aim of the project, as I said, as I've been saying, is to just to put together all these capabilities in order to provide solutions to companies in the field of nano and bio-based materials. Okay, so I said before that we are quite happy today because at this moment the main reason of this session is to launch an open call, and this open call will give the opportunities to different companies, European companies, just to work with us, with this network, in order to develop their ideas in new materials, in order to get these new ideas into the market. So we offer to the companies today the possibility to work with us through this open call, and just to have a trial with us in terms of just seeing how we are working and how we are doing. Okay, so Well, as I said before, today it's important to know if people attending this session have ideas in mind to develop new materials. We are talking about bio-based materials, and well, it's probably that many of you are thinking if you have an innovative idea, but you need experts to cover the entire approach because you don't have internally all your capabilities that you need, or there are some non-technical activities regarding to legal aspects, market aspects, compatibility, and health aspects that you need to test, even IP management and IP issues on some regulations, or perhaps you need to use some pilot plans to test your materials and that you don't have internally, or you need help in terms of business plans or whatever you are thinking to develop your product and to get it into the market. If you have an idea, this is the best place at this moment to come and to ask us if we can help you through this open call. Okay. So I don't know. Yes, in which field we are talking? Well, we are talking about the development of safe nano-enabled bio-based materials. We are talking about the development of polymer bio-nanocomposites, and we are talking about development of materials for multifunctional and new advanced applications. This is our scope in a technical way. And who can get into this loop? I mean, who can go into this open call and present the ideas and try to get to raise this option? Okay, we are thinking about companies or different legal organizations, as you can see in the slide, of different sectors, polymer producers, packaging, textiles, agriculture, cosmetics, food, pharma, and any other. And the most important opportunity is that it's open to very different legal organizations. And at this moment, we are not thinking, or we are not limiting only to SMEs, for example, or big companies. As you can see, there are it's a wide list of legal organizations who can apply to this option that the open call gives. I said before that we are 20 partners, core partners, and 7 companies that also are running some technical cases. Inside the project, Bionanopoly has 14 pilot lines that are distributed in 3 networks. One of them is related to nanoadditives and raw materials. The other one is related to bio-nanocomposites. And the third network is related to the bio-nano products. But it's important to say that there are other capabilities that we call technical transversal services, helps to the process parameterization, as for example, quality control and process optimization on inline monitoring, modeling and simulation. And we have more capabilities inside the consortium that we call them non-technicals, that helps us with our ideas in terms of defining the road to market. As for example, we have technical capabilities to develop life cycle assessment studies and safety evaluation of biomaterials, also compostability and recyclability analysis, food safety, techno-economic assessment, and business support. So we have all these capabilities together, and we want to offer to companies the option to work with us, okay, through this open call. This open call is open via one single entry point, we call it the TEP, There you have the way to access to this open call. I have to say that we are offering to companies to develop 5 technical projects and 5 technical and non-technical projects. In total, we have 10 opportunities that can go together, technical plus non-technical, or we can do it in a separate way. So how can we go through this open call? Okay, well, the most important point to know is that today we open the open call, and it's an important point also for us as for the project consortium. Okay, it's very important this moment for us. It's open today, and well, I have to say that well, you can go into the application through the address you can see in the top of the slide. And it's important to know that we have a first part, a first stage that is from February to April 2023. You have to submit your applications, okay? I have to say that it is a two-stage application process, because we have a first stage that is quite simple in terms of the amount of information that I have to describe, okay, in the process, but enough information yet to have a first decision on go no go application we receive. And when we receive this first stage, then the evaluation committee will select some of them, and then we'll go to the second stage submission. That is a more detailed information. It's required more detailed information. During June and July, we will evaluate the final applications, and then through the evaluation process, we will decide which projects we approve. I said before 5+5. And then the idea is that the projects will start in September 2023. And I have to say, and this is the most important point, that these services, these projects are free of charge to the companies selected. Okay, so that's also the big opportunity of this open call. So I've been saying during this speech, but the main benefits is that you can access to an integrated platform of technologies and scientific expertise devoted to the nanotechnology-based and bio-based raw materials. You can have efficient support by a comprehensive service portfolio for the development and integration of new bio-based nano-enabled products. And you will get experience help to accelerate the introduction of bio-based nano-enabled materials into the market. Just for finishing, it's important that you see who we are. Here you have the 20 core partners that I've been saying before, with different technical scopes and different capabilities. And we have 7 companies who were involved in the project submission at the beginning of the project, so they are partners and they are beneficiaries. They have their own applied cases that are already running inside the project. Well, here you have also my contact details, and also the links and the information about the project and the open call. And well, thank you for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Carmen, for your presentation and good explanation about what the Bionanopolis can offer to the assistants. Now we will continue with Hector Torres' presentation. But first, let me say some words. Hector Torres holds a PhD in material science from the Autonomous University of Barcelona. His area of expertise is encapsulation, and as a project manager in ITN, he coordinates projects on functional materials and control release of active ingredients, mainly with bio-based materials for use in packaging. He is also experienced in quantification and detection of active substance, microstructuring of polymers, photoreactive substance, and analysis of optical properties. So please, Hector, it's your turn.
See? Hello. Thank you, Natalia, for this kind presentation. For this session, we want to say that I'm also very happy that we are launching finally this open call process, and we hope that we can help a lot of you assistants today and many startups and small companies that want to develop these materials. Today, I will explain a bit into more detail what are the capabilities of our network in the Bionanopolis project and which kind of services we can provide to you. And also, I will give you a brief insight of which kind of applications could you develop for this with us in this project. First, I will explain the technical services, which is the network of pilot plants. We have divided them, as Carmen Sanchez was mentioning, in three networks, one regarding the obtention of raw materials and nano additives from bio-waste. The second network is the obtention of nanocomposites that then can be converted into final products. We hope in this project that by transforming organic waste into nano additives and biopolymers, we could provide new functionalities and solutions for high volume applications such as packaging, cosmetics, nano additives, and 3D printing, among others. First, with network number one, this comprises the extraction of the raw materials and the monomers, and then the obtention of the nanocomposites. First, we have partners specialized in sourcing biomass from annual plants like weeds and other byproducts from industries like the agriculture and the food industry. This biomass then is pre-treated, and one of our facilities, or one of the facilities of our partners, that can clean and eliminate all the residues that will not be used for the obtention. Then by applying hydrolysis, either enzymatic or in acid, we could obtain fermentable sugars that will be converted into monomers for biopolymers such as lactic acid, succinic acid, or PHAs. And also in this pilot plant, we will extract cellulose and black liquors that then will be purified. This will happen in pilot plant number 2, where the cellulose obtained from pilot plant 1 will be converted into nanocellulose fibers. And these fibers, we can obtain them either by extrusion at one of our colleagues in France, or either by disintegration, by mechanical grinding. This kind of cellulose nanofibers then could be further purified by acid hydrolysis to convert them into nanocrystals. This kind of additives of cellulose can be applied into cosmetics or as reinforcers for cellulose and plastic and textile materials. The other byproduct that we could obtain, or additive that substance that we will derive from these cellulosic products, will be the black liquor, which could be converted into nanolignin by acid precipitation. That's something that we do here at ITENE in one of our acid reactors. And this nanolignin has important applications as antimicrobial and also as UV protecting additive for packaging and textiles. On the other side, from the monomers we collected from pilot pad 1, like the lactic acid, succinic acid, and the PHAs, we can convert them into block copolymers in our condensator reactors. We have different ones available from 3, 10, or 15 liters reactors. And these block copolymers could bring improved barrier properties for biopolymer composites. Another interesting application is to use plant extracts like olive leaf or green tea leaf extracts to obtain polyphenols and cations that then can be converted into metallic nanoparticles in one of our reactors. We have capability for doing so in an ATEX chamber for 20 liters and 100 liters. And the metallic nanoparticles that we could develop here and deposit into other substrates could be silver, copper, nickel, zinc, or even iron. And these metallic nanoparticles could provide antimicrobial properties to textiles and packaging. On pilot plant 5, we would prepare nanocapsules with essential oils that would bring antioxidant and antimicrobial properties as well. This is done in a glass reactor of 10 liters, and the emulsification process will be carried on by high shear mixing or ultrasonic disruption. And then these nanocapsules that could be obtained in a liquid suspension may be dried using the spray dryer, which is we have the capability to do it at 6 liters per hour. And this spray dryer could also be used to obtain solvent-free microcapsules obtained from water-based dispersions. That's all for network 1. Then I will go to network 2, which is the modification and functionalization of these nanomaterials in order to improve their compatibility and to mix them with thermoplastics or bioplastics to obtain the compounds. Firstly, we can modify both the cellulosic nanoadditives like cellulose nanofibers and nanocrystals and inorganic clays with our ATEX reactors. As I was saying, these ATEX reactors allow us to go from 20 liters to 100 liters and temperatures up to 250 degrees Celsius and apply pressure as well. We have detectors in our ATEX reactor of 100 liters that allow us to follow the reaction using the pH sensors and the conductivity sensors. And these modified clays then are better dispersed into the biopolymers. We also have in pilot plant 6 solid gauge functionalization. This is done in one of our tubular ovens that allow us to go to quite high temperatures of 1,200 degrees Celsius. And we can deposit these nanoadditives inside the tubular phase and allow a gas flow of the molecules that we will use to functionalize its surface and reduce the use of solvents. These pilot plant 6 also have the capabilities of the patented process by a CTP partner of us, which allows to functionalize surface of paper. In this case, could be also a paper reels made with cellulose nanofibers. And by depositing on it hydrophobic molecules that will bring oil repellency and improved barrier properties to the paper without the use of solvents. Regarding pilot plant 7, then all of these modified cellulose or nanoclays or the block of polymers we obtained from pilot plant 6 will be compounded in one of our different extruders available. Those are twin screw extruders to allow better mixing of the materials in the polymers. And we have capabilities from going to from 5 to 80 kilograms per hour, and from 30 to 300 degrees Celsius. And we will, from the project, we will select which is the equipment that is better suitable for each application, depending on the final purpose of your applications. As well, we can produce also reactive extrusion with our pilot extruders by adding monomers that will react through the mixing process to allow a better mixing and integration into the polymer matrix. This could achieve thermosets and cross-linked biopolymers with improved durability. And lastly, some of the additives could be applied as a nano dispersion in liquid media, for instance, for coatings. So by collecting the nanocapsules, the modified cellulose or the clays, we can disperse them in aqueous or solvent-based coatings with our reactors and then apply it as a coating. One of the things we can do as well is in situ polymerization in the reactors of our partner CIDAUT, which this allow us is to generate better dispersion in some cases and to have the polymerization of some biopolymers directly on top of the nano additives that then will be carried on as a suspension. And finally, I will talk about the network 3, where all of these nano additives and nano compounds will be converted into final products. And this will cover many of the applications which each of our partners of the consortium has some experience. Regarding flexible and rigid packaging, here at ITENE we have a multi-layer co-extrusion machine that will convert these biopolymers, biocomposites into multi-layer films, or we can also work with monolayers and sheets that then will be further processed. These sheets could be thermoformed, for instance, with one of our pilot plants to achieve trails or caps, for instance. This is a semi-automatic thermoformer that will allow us to obtain prototypes of what will be the final application of this packaging, for instance. Regarding cellulose products in pilot plant 10, these cellulose nano additives can be mixed in mass with paper pulp using our standardized paper prototype machine to obtain a disc of 20 centimeters in diameter, or could be laminated in paper coils with the CTP pilot plant. Then with this, we expect to have paper packaging with improved mechanical and barrier properties. Regarding textile, we have in our consortium our partners of ITEX, which are bringing lots of different piloting machines to convert these nanocomposites into non-woven fabrics or woven fabrics from monofilament extrusion. And they have splendid facilities for doing those. The kind of non-woven can be achieved by different technologies like carding and sewing, and they have also extrusion in line. And for rigid packaging applications, we have here at ITENE an injection molding machine that allow us to obtain standardized specimens of different natures, like trails and caps and specimens for mechanical properties testings. Our partners from CDOUT for this Pilot Plan 13 are bringing the capabilities for foaming applications. They have extrusion foaming equipment to make foaming packaging, food packaging from foamed beads, and also they have a reactor to make the swelling and the expansion of these beads that could then be made into complex parts, for instance, for automotive industry by steam molding. And the last of the technical pilot plans is the application of coatings. We have different equipments from all the consortium that can apply coatings containing these nano additives from the nano dispersions we made in the previous network. This comprises, for instance, a robotic arm that can spray on complex 3D objects, blade coating. We also have flexo and gravure printing with a laminator. We can make electrospinning nanofibers for coating on textiles and spraying on 2D substrates like plastic films and sheets. But those are not only the services that we are providing here at Bionanopolis. We also want to ensure that all the ideas and developments that you bring and test with us have a higher chance of succeeding to arrive into the market and have an impact in society. So we are also providing transversal services to reduce the risk and the barriers that the development of this kind of materials will suppose. And those can be, these services can be provided through all the stages of the development, through any of the pilot networks. For instance, we have a partner that is specialized in modeling of processes and optimization of conditions. We also have a partner who is expert in logistics, so he can help you sourcing and optimizing the routes of the waves of distribution of the biomass and how to store them properly and how to better improve your business network, for instance. We have partners that are specialized on inline monitoring by controlling the rheology of the mixing of the nanocomposites and to predict which will be the properties of the final composite. In addition, we also are providing innovation and business support, because we know that innovation can be hard, and companies that want to develop new products will not only face technical challenges but also development challenges or legislations, and therefore we are also providing this kind of support for companies that will ease the commercialization and exploitation of your developments. And those consist of different services like safety evaluations. We can also make food contact analysis to validate if your materials are safe for use in the food industry. We can also help you with regulation and legislation of your nanomaterials, because sometimes developing nanomaterials face strong challenges in terms of legislation. So we have experts in that regard that could help you. We also are offering services for staff training and know-how transfer. So once you try our nanomaterials, then we can teach your personnel properly how to work with them in a safe way and to reproduce the results in your facilities. We also are offering, for instance, recyclability analysis and life cycle analysis, social life cycle analysis, and all type of end-of-life evaluations. Access to follow-up financing. We count with a business angel association that will evaluate your solutions and may want to contribute you financially to support these ideas. We are offering business model coaching For instance, we can teach you how to make a business canvas if that's something that you need with your starting company. And we have expertise. We have a lawyer firm that will help you with IPR management and protection, on how to valorize your results and to make sure that you can exploit them properly. That's all for my contribution. I hope I have clarified some of the points and maybe infuse you some ideas that of the project that you could develop with us. I will be very glad to answer any questions you may have now in the question section, or either if you contact me by email. And thank you very much for your attention.
Okay, thank you, Hector, for your nice talk. And now, before giving the floor to the next speaker, I would like to say that we have received some questions regarding if we share this presentation, and the answer is yes. We will send you after the session of today to have all the information available about our pilot plans. But if you need more details about our capacities and capabilities, you can visit the web page of the Bionanopolis project, which is also included in this presentation, to obtain this information. Okay, now we continue with Elena Torres, who holds a chemical degree, a master in material science engineering, and a PhD on biomaterials and tissue engineering. Elena has been part of ITEX Research Center since 2016, working in the research and development department, specifically in the nanomaterial and technical fibers group. So please, Elena, it's your turn. I hear you. Elena, can you hear me? Elena, can you try to? I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes, I can, but
Okay, we can hear you.
so you give me the floor to the presentation, but I don't know if you can see the presentation. I think you don't. Can
No.
you give me the floor?
Now we are seeing your screen. Now.
Now?
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Natalia, for this presentation. Sorry for the difficulties. Well, as my colleagues already explained, within the Bionanopolis project, different industrial partners, different industrial partners have taken advantages of the Bionanopolis portfolio, developing innovative nanoproducts and verifying the technical feasibility of the Bionanopolis service and pilot plans. Therefore, it has been evaluated the nanocomposites, nanoparticles, bio-based nanoadditives of different industrial sectors as food packaging, cosmetics, textiles, nonwovens, and other applications. In the following, I will explain in more detail the different user case developed during the project development. The user cases of Textisol are based on compostable nonwoven textiles to obtain personal care wipes with antimicrobial properties by using different pilot plants of the Bionanopolis portfolio. In this sense, lignin nanoparticles and nanocapsules are applied on the final products by spray coating. The user case for DS Smith are based on reinforced paper products to grant mechanical properties and new functionalities such as hydrophobicity and oxygen barriers by applying hydrophobic cellulose nanofibers on paper coils by lamination processes. Novamont is using bio-based nano additives with multifunctional properties to prepare biodegradable and compostable biomaterials and formulation to find application in a number of industrial sectors. For rigid packaging applications, Logoplast is developing 100% compostable cosmetic jars reinforced with nanoclays to improve barrier properties, and antioxidant nanocapsules applied on the final product by spray coating. For the obtention of bio-based foam products by Celmat, biopolymers are reinforced with nanoclays to obtain thermoform foam trays for food packaging and complex shape parts of the automotive sector, such as headrests. Danipac is developing flexible packaging with improved oxygen and moisture barriers properties by blending with nanoclays and applying functionalized nanocapsules by spray coating. And finally, for the agricultural industry, Hilos Técnicos San Miguel is developing compostable monofilaments with nanoclays and cellulose nanofibers to improve mechanical properties. Well, as you can see, the Bionanopolis portfolio offers a huge quantity of service for several sectors application. So I would like to share with you a video which illustrates the pilot lines available in the Open Innovation Testbed and the multiple possibilities to be developed during the project. So, okay. So now, Itene, if you can share the video.
Bionanopolis project opens up a platform for driving open innovation to develop bio-based nanoproducts using sustainable feedstocks in Europe. The Bionanopolis Open Innovation Testbed is a set of European entities which provides access to pilot plants through a single entry point for stakeholders. To do this, Bionanopolis has created a network of 14 pilot plants to obtain biomaterials and develop bio-nanoproducts for several applications, such as packaging, textiles, cosmetics, foams, coatings, and 3D printing. To develop functional cellulosic materials, Bionanopolis portfolio offers Pilot Plant 2 to produce cellulose nanofibers to improve the performance of cellulosic materials, which are applied on final products using different coating technologies such as Pilot Plant 14, 3D spray coating for 3D objects. Pilot Plant 14 blade and roll coating for 2D cellulosic substrates. Pilot Plant 10 wet lamination for film applications, which are grafted through Pilot Plant 6 chromatogeny to bring hydrophobicity. To develop compostable biopolymeric products with enhanced properties, BioNanopolis portfolio offers development of monomers in Pilot Plant 1 through fermentation processes. Pilot Plant 3 uses these monomers to synthesize block copolymers as bioadditives. In parallel, from Pilot Plant 6, nanoclays for polymer additivation are obtained. Bio-based matrices and nanoadditives are mixed using Pilot Plant 7 twin screw extrusion system. Thus, these biocompounds can be further processed by using different technologies. For the packaging industry, Pilot Plant 9 multi-layer extrusion provides up to 5 functional flexible multi-layer sheets. While using Pilot Plant 12 injection molding, they can be transformed on rigid packaging products. Compostable foams are obtained in Pilot Plant 13, extrusion and bed foaming, for building, packaging, sport and leisure sectors. Finally, flexible products can be functionalized through Pilot Plant 14 using flexographic and gravure printing techniques, roll-to-roll slot die coating, or roll-to-roll spray coating. For biofunctional cosmetic, food and detergent ingredients, BioNanopolis portfolio offers Pilot Plant 2 to produce cellulose nanofibers and cellulose nanocrystals used as film formers ingredients. Pilot Plant 5 engineers cellulose shells nanocapsules functionalized with essential oils, which can be delivered in water-based dispersion or in powder form by using the Pilot Plant 5 spray drying system. Additionally, these bioadditives can be dispersed for coating applications using Pilot Plant 8 bio-nano dispersions in liquid media. Nanofiber-based coatings can also be developed through Pilot Plant 14 electrospinning, being an approach to encapsulate additives into nanofiber web for controlled release. To develop compostable textiles and non-woven products, BioNanopolis portfolio offers Pilot Plant 7 reactive extrusion to grant specific properties through covalent bonds between polymer and functional molecules. These functionalized biomaterials are transformed into mono and multi-filaments using Pilot Plant 11, which provides continuous filaments and staple fibers, which are further processed through weaving Pilot Plant to obtain woven textile samples. Non-woven technology to generate non-woven with specific properties by mixing staple biofibers with natural fibers and melt-blown technology to obtain non-wovens of very fine up to ultra-fine filaments for filtration or medical applications. Through Pilot Plant 5, functionalized nanocapsules are obtained for coating on non-woven and textiles using Pilot Plant 11, which comprises spraying cabinet, nanobubble finishing, hot melt lamination, knife coating and padding system. Therefore, if you are planning to test or scale up advanced bio-nanomaterials, you can do it through the Open Innovation Testbed of BioNanopolis project. Let's join forces and develop the materials of the future.
Elena, we can hear you. No.
Now?
Mhm.
Nothing. I was just saying that thank you for introducing me and to introduce the video. And if you have any further question, I will answer them later. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Elena, for your nice presentation and for showing this video. Now we give way to Raquel Morena from Axia Innovation. And first, let me introduce her. Also, Raquel Morena began her career as a scientific researcher at the Valencian Institute of Agricultural Research while studying agricultural engineering, and later forestry engineering, both at the Polytechnic University of Valencia. Since 2006, she has been involved in forestry and environmental consultancy, as well as in project and contract management, providing support services with public and private sectors at local, regional, and international level in areas including, among others, forest protection, environmental assessment of forestry operations, forest biomass, and bioenergy. So please, Raquel, it's the turn of your presentation.
Thank you, Natalia. You can hear me, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay,
But
I
we
just got that.
Okay.
Now, yes, I just got the message now. Okay, so many windows here. Thank you. And you can see also the presentation mode, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. So first of all, thank you for ITNE to invite Axia to present today in the Bionanopolis Open Call launch event, which, as Carmen and Hector said, we are very happy to be here today. I'm Raquel Moreno, Project Manager at Axia Innovation. Axia is a SME based in Munich, Germany, and we are an innovation consultancy with a big skilled team of professionals focused on innovation management, in technology transfer, project management, and also developing successful dissemination and communication campaigns. So we were invited to explain to all of you the Bionanopolis services and how to access them. So after the previous presentations, I will just focus on the second part to avoid repetition. Starting, yeah, so just maybe this slide will be good. So as Carmen mentioned, the Open Innovation Testbed is formed by 20 core partners that they have come together in order to assist other organizations and stakeholders in bringing new innovative materials, products, processes, and services closer to the market. So we have compiled a big service portfolio that, as Hector mentioned, is not only the technical services of the 14 upgraded pilot lines, but also transversal and complementary services to support the upscaling of the developments. I will skip these slides as they were already mentioned by the previous presenters. This maybe is interesting for the audience. These are the market segments that within the Bionanopolis project we have developed, and they are showing a summary of what ITEX was also presenting in their video. And now I will focus on the open access of the service portfolio of Bionanopolis and the open call and the benefits of accessing the Open Innovation Testbed through the open call, and some important information for submitting your online application. So open access is that all the Bionanopolis Open Innovation Testbed services will be accessible not only in Europe, but also globally at fair cost and conditions. And we intend to do that with transparent and mutual obligations, not only from the open innovation testbed providers, but also with our customers. The open access will be done through the single entry point. This is where all the partners have come together to offer this service portfolio. It's like a one-stop shop. And just as a practical way for you to understand this operatively, this is an interactive platform where you can go and access all the service portfolio, the open call, all the information, and contact the Open Innovation Testbed. So basically, the CEP is connecting through the Open Innovation Testbed, acting as an interface in between the customers and the service providers of the testbed. So once a customer has seen or is interested in few of the services that the testbed is providing, going through the CEP is gonna ease all these paperwork and communications, as the CEP will be compiling and supporting the clients in gathering the most suitable service package for developing the test case that the customer is intended to do. So as I mentioned before, the open access is under fair and reasonable conditions, and it will be through a fair price or cost. However, the open call allows to some cases to get access to the facilities, capabilities, and services for free. So the open call is an invitation to access for free all the services that the Open Innovation Testbed is offering. And of course, this is under some conditions that I will explain in the next slides, and for a limited period of time. So the period of time starts as of today. So we are launching today the Bionanopolis open call, and we expect to receive the applications until the 30th of April. So this is the deadline for you to submit your application. As Carmen mentioned before, the Bionanopolis applications are a two-stage applications. So the deadline in April is for the first stage. I will explain the contents later on. Then after that, in between May and June, we will do the evaluation by the evaluation team of the Bionanopolis Open Innovation Testbed. And following that, we will select the successful applications, which we expect to select minimum 5 of them. And then the selected applications will be invited to complete the application and to provide the stage 2 application information. Within this stage, an interview will be done, and also a pitching supported by our partners within the testbed will be requested from the selected applicants. Then we will proceed to identify the most suitable service package for the customer. And in between end of June and July, we will proceed with the agreement signatures and the negotiation phase to start implementation in September this year. There is an eligibility criteria for the applications that will be submitted through the open call. And this is regarding the proposal or the application test case shall be within the field of Bionanopolis, and this is the nano-enabled bio-based materials and polymer bio-nanocomposites. It has to also be in between TRL technology readiness level in between 6 and 7, and also it is recommendable to have at least 2 pilot lines within the test bed. Sorry, within the application. Regarding the applicants, as Carmen says, we are open to any type of organizations. However, this should be established within the European member state or associated countries as per the Horizons 2020 list. You can access here below in the slide, you can see the guidelines for applicants. So in the guidelines for applicants, you can have a more detailed explanation on what I'm presenting here today, and you will be able to access this Horizon 2020 list with the explanation of which countries and so on. Also the TRL that I mentioned. So I recommend you to consult the guidelines, take some minutes and read all the chapters, because you will find a lot of support before submitting your application. And then for the applications, this shall be an online form. I will show you later. They shall be submitted in English, and minimum to include 1 technical service and 2 non-technical services. The only requirement for you to access through the open call and be selected to get free access to these services is that after your experience within the Bionanopolis Open Innovation Test Bed, we will ask you to provide feedback on how we did in terms of quality and implementation and how your satisfaction level is, and that will allow us to improve and be better for the next customers. The evaluation criteria in the first stage of the application is based in 2 criterion, excellence and impact. Within the excellence, we will assess the technical advance and state of the art. We will also check the credibility and feasibility of the proposal, and also the progress within the TRL. Regarding the impact, we will check the objectives and expected results within your idea, the outcomes, meaning this some future potential applications or developments, and also the overall impact within the industrial environment and society. And we expect to evaluate the first stage applications once they have reached the 7 threshold. So to start your application online, first you have to go to the online platform and do the registration. And once you have completed the few data, which is basic name, email, company, and so on, then you will receive a confirmation email that you have to click to finish the registration. Then you will be able to access the platform and the application, and you will then start your the application per se. And within the application, you can enter any data there. I will show you then the screens later. You can enter any data, you can save the progress that you have done, and you can close it, and then another time you can come back, open the save application, and is still working on the previous data that you have entered, and it will not be, let's say, blocked until you press the button submitted. Nevertheless, there will be a message for you to make sure that you are aware of closing the application if that is what you want. The applicant's rights and obligations. So the applicant can submit more than one application form. Also, upon request by the applicant, it's possible to request a non-disclosure agreement within the SEP of Bionanopolis to ensure confidentiality and protection of the information that you will be releasing with your application. As I mentioned before, if you have been selected and then the negotiations led to the final agreement by both parties, you will be required to sign an agreement within the Bionanopolis service providers. And just to make sure that everything is clear, we recommend you, we offer you this email, opencall@bionanopolis.eu, to contact the team to clarify any doubts that you have and to maybe discuss some specific details, especially with the application and the technical services that can be very important to clarify before submitting your application. So this is the unique access of the Bionanopolis Open Innovation Testbed. This is the SEP. I will be showing you this later. And there will be a specific webinar for users to explain this registration and online application with the developers within the next few weeks. So please stay tuned to our social media and Bionanopolis website because we will be releasing the dates of this webinar soon. So this is the user online platform. You will be, once you have registered, you will be able to see this. This is section 1 and 2 about the general information and organization. Then you will jump into section 3, which is your interest in the Bionanopolis Open Innovation Testbed and the Open Call. Here, as you can see, most of the questions are tick mode or selecting mode rather than typing. So we tend to do it easy for the applicants. And the section 4 will be the one that is focused on the specific test case or novel idea that you intend to develop within the Bionanopolis services. So here you have to explain a little bit this excellence and impact that I was explaining before. And then section 5 will be the selection of the transversal and complementary services. At the end, you also have the option to attach a file. So just with a maximum of 2 MB. And the last part will be agreeing to these general terms and conditions. So all these, as I said before, are included in the guidelines for applicants that I recommend you check. This, I summarize the important links of all the topics that I explained today. You can take a picture or a screenshot of these slides, and from my side, this is all. If I have 1 more minute, I would like to share the website, if it's possible, Natalia. I don't know.
Me, Raquel?
Yes. Can I
Okay.
can I share the
Yes.
browser? Okay.
Mhm.
So I will try to go back to this sharing thing, if I can see that. Okay, I cannot see the options of sharing now, a different window. Okay, I think I found it. So now you can see the browser here. Okay, so this is the Bionanopolis website. I welcome you to go and I invite you to go and check. And if you press the options here on the site, you have the Open Innovation Testbed platform and the open call. If you go to the platform, then you will access the specific services, the use cases as ITAKES explained. And here you will be actually having the information of each of the services, the infrastructure behind it, the application field. You have also not the technical services, but the process parameterization and also the route to market. So for example, on the business support, you can see here the capabilities and expertise that we have within the testbed and that you can claim. And after that, if you go to the open call, then here you can access the platform that I showed you before. You can download or see the application guideline, the eligibility criteria, and the evaluation process. And here there is a preliminary and overview of the information, and the application guideline will offer a more detailed information. So this is all from my side. Sorry if I took a few more minutes. I will stop sharing now.
Okay, thank you, Raquel, for your clarifying presentation to show us how the open call and the platform works. Okay, so now we will move on to the last part of the session, in which we will have a question and answer session with Hector Torres from ITENE, Ellen Kurmi from CTP, Sarah Fernandez from CENTI, and Steve Mahout and Marius Costin from CEA. They are the leaders of the technical work package in the Bionanopolis project, and they will be happy to answer all your questions. First of all, I would like to give you some data about these new speakers, as I've done before, to know which is their field of expertise. Ellen Kurmi has an engineering degree in papermaking and a PhD in process engineering and wood chemistry. She is a R&D engineer in CTP, in which he works as a project manager in the functional production division. She is in charge of CTP laboratory regarding barrier properties and involved in research and development of CNF wet lamination technology. Sarah Fernandez has a master's degree in chemical analysis and characterization techniques, and also holds a PhD in science with specialization in chemistry. She works at CENTI as a researcher in the functional materials department, more specifically in the biomaterials team. Marius Costin received a PhD degree in 2010 with a work on multi-resolution X-ray compute tomography reconstruction applied to micro and nano imaging. He works in institutional or industrial projects dealing with X-ray imaging, mainly for non-destructive testing application, but also in the border security fields in CEA. Steve Mahout is the head of the monitoring control and diagnosis service at CEA. As a non-destructive evaluation senior expert in CEA, Steve actively contributes to apply R&D related to advanced manufacturing and maintenance strategies for various industrial sectors aiming at improved safety and/or productivity. So welcome to all the new speakers to this session. Okay, they are connecting their camera and also the micro. Okay, now we are all in the screen. Okay. Okay, so we have received a first questions that I will I will address to Sarah from Senti. For the coating lines available at Senti, how do you choose between them for a given application? And which are the main advantages for each of them? We can hear you, Sarah. No.
What about now?
No.
Hi.
Now?
Do you repeat? Yes, yes, we can hear you. Do you need me to repeat the question?
No, I could hear you. So I was just thank you for the invitation to be here today. As for your question, in the Bionanopolis testbed, Senti has a spray coating line as well as a slot tie coating line. For the spray coating, it is usually chosen when the goal is to use the smallest amount of coating formulation on the substrate, and when maintaining the texture of the substrate is important in the final product. Also, the formulation to be applied needs to have a very low viscosity to be able to be processed by the nozzles. As for the slot tie coating, it is usually selected when a higher coating thickness is needed to achieve the desired functionality. And the textural properties of the substrate are not a requisite, as the surface will take the texture of the cured formulation instead. In terms of viscosity, there are not as many constraints with the slot die coating technology. However, really high viscosities might not be able to be processed by the feeding pump. I think these are the main parameters to choose between both of the technologies we have for the coatings.
Okay, thank you, Sarah.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to skip to the next question. Okay, I think this is a question for Helen from CDP. If I don't know which association of pilot plants will be the best for my application, who can I contact to help me? Okay, I think this is a question that can be answered for any of the speakers. Yeah, but I don't know who wants to answer it.
Yeah, of course. I think you can find all the contact information of the different leader of the pilot plant, and we can answer the technical question more in detail. And as Raquel mentioned, you have also the address if you have any problem during the submission process. You can also send an email to this address, and if it is technical question, she can distribute to the person, the needed person.
Okay, thank you, Helen. Okay, we have again another question related with the technology from Senti to produce the nanocapsules. Which materials are you using in your pilot line to produce the nanocapsules?
The main materials we are currently using are cellulose derivatives to form the nanocapsule shell, and also essential oils as well as vegetable oils as the functional ingredients.
Okay, I think that here is important to remark that although within the project we are working with a specific ingredients or raw materials, as well as in a specific number of sectors. In the open call, we can receive application to use different kind of biomass sources or ingredients, and also we can apply for different sectors. Okay. Okay, the next question is this. I think that Hector can answer this one. Is possible for one application to test different solutions proposed in the pilot plans, different bionanoadditives or process, or only one application must be related to only one solution?
Okay. For this question, I think it really depends on the technology to develop. We want the applicants to submit a project. So if it has cohesive development structure, in the sense that you want to use some additive and then modify it and apply it to injected product, for instance, then you can apply all these services as a single project to the website application. For us, the larger the better, because we get to validate more pilot plans and to offer better services. However, that would be a limitation, let's say, which would be the budget for this development. What is covered with the European project of the Horizon 2020 is a specific budget for each application, and that's why we have to limit the selection mode, the selection of the projects that are going to be funded. But you can apply for different services with one single application, as long as the project that you are proposing has cohesive narrative. On the other hand, there is not a limitation of what amount of projects you can upload. If you have different ideas in mind and they are not cohesively related one to each other, then you can upload that to the portal application. You can upload it to the portal as separated applications. I hope that answers the question. And please go ahead.
Okay, I think that there is another question that you can answer.
Okay.
Is there going to be an open forum in where all different applicants can exchange ideas between us?
That's a good point. We are organizing different events like this for promoting the testbed and to collecting your inputs. And we would for sure include this kind of roundtable for different applications to upload it. I don't think we have done any one of those already, aside from the different events that we have performed. But if you have doubts or you want to share these kind of things, you can upload your questions to the website. There is a contact information, and from there we can organize online, let's say, matchmaking events. So if we collect different questions regarding the same topic, we could organize an online call with all the applicants that might be related and initiate this kind of discussions. So that's something that we will set up for the next months if there is a demand for it, for sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and how many applicants do you expect?
Okay, this is a big consortium, and we are in 14 different countries, and each of the partners of this consortium is contributing to the dissemination of this goal. So we expect to have a quite broad, let's say, diffusion of this goal. In our initial estimates, we hope to achieve at least 10 applications per country of where we are doing this. But since we have narrowed the application format to be very agile and don't take too much time from the applicants to apply, we are expecting to increase that number up to around 30 applications per country.
Okay, Perfect. Thank you for clarifying all of these questions. Okay, now I think that we have also other questions that should be addressed to CEA. Are there any obstacles to the deployment of recovery of your components to bionanomaterials that need to be tackled via the solution of Bionanopolis partners?
Okay, yeah, the question was, if I'm not wrong, are there some characterization issues related to the components? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So yes, the idea of our contribution at CA is to carry out some characterization tests, which can be on fabricated components after the manufacturing stage or for inline monitoring control. And the idea is that we are available to perform this kind of characterization test, depending upon the needs on the various applications that will be proposed through the open call. So we have some facilities to make this kind of characterization tests in order to help the applicants to perform and to fulfill their requirements in terms of characterization and homogeneity of their components.
Okay, thank you, Steve. To answer these questions, and we have received another question for Hector. Do you think it's possible to expand biopolymers by vaporization, as in the case of polystyrene?
Okay, if you are referring to the expanded bits for foaming applications, yes, indeed, we have evidence and we have tested it in one of the, actually in two of our user cases, to use biopolymers, bioesters, polyesters actually, in the same expanded manner that we have done, well, it is usually the case for polystyrene. And the results are quite promising. We are still working on the obtention of the prototypes that will be validating this technology, but that's something that it's very welcome as a project for this open call, and I hope we can help you with your new innovative idea. From a feasible point of view, yes, is it possible? And it will be a wonderful research project.
Okay, thank you. I think that it's time to close the event. We have received many other questions, and we will try to answer them after this session. We will address the question to the correct people now in this Q&A session. So thank you to everyone to assist to this virtual event today. We hope you have found it interesting, and look forward to receive all of your applications. So thank you all the speakers today, and see you in the next one.